Well, oil theft is a scourge that has plagued Nigeria's economy and environment for decades. Despite being the country's mainstay, the oil industry has been crippled by rampant theft, with estimates suggesting billions of dollars lost annually.
And the consequences of oil theft are far-reaching, from environmental degradation to economic instability. When did oil theft begin in Nigeria? Let's have a history. You have that.
Well, that's a good question. When did it
Yeah,
begin?
yeah.
The 1960s was when oil production began in Nigeria. And within that period, the country witnessed the first instances of oil theft. Of course, at that time, oil theft involved small-scale tapping of oil pipelines by local communities.
Yes, indeed. And in the 1980s, oil theft increased with more sophisticated methods employed by criminal networks. These include hacking into pipelines and siphoning oil into barges or tankers.
Then, in the 1990s, the rise of militant groups in the Niger Delta, such as the Movement for the Survival of Ogoni People, MASOP, which led to the increase in oil theft. Now, militants tap oil pipelines to fund their activities and protest against environmental degradation and economic marginalization.
And now the 2000s also witnessed oil theft becoming more organized, with criminal syndicates involving corrupt government officials, security personnel, and businessmen. Stolen oil is then sold on the black market for export or exported to these countries from Nigeria. Yes.
And it seems to, be progressive, because in the 2010s, oil theft reached alarming levels, with estimates suggesting up to 400,000 barrels per day, are stolen. The Nigerian government launched various initiatives to combat oil theft, including military operations and surveillance systems.
And in 2014, the Nigerian government established the Presidential Committee on Oil Theft to tackle the issue. When President Buhari assumed office in 2015, the administration launched a crackdown on oil theft, including arrest and prosecutions. That was a step forward towards that, yes.
And then in the 2020s, oil theft continued, with new methods employed, such as using drilling rigs to tap into pipelines. The Nigerian government and international partners intensified efforts to combat oil theft, including improved surveillance and community engagement.
Now there is a new determination to tackle this menace. There is a new sheriff in town, head-on, as President Tinubu has issued a marching order to the military to curb oil theft, and a comprehensive strategy is being implemented.
Now, can we say this strategy will bring this menace to an end? Well, join us as we focus on the complexities of oil theft in the Niger Delta, the efforts to combat it, and the prospects for success. We'll hear from experts, stakeholders, and possibly community leaders to get a comprehensive understanding of this critical issue. As earlier asked, can Nigeria finally put an end to oil theft and unlock its full economic potential? On that note, let me welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria today. I am Victor Azu, and we are reaching you on the network service of the NTA.
And Victor, you're back. You're welcome back from your break.
Well, thank you.
It's good to have you back. I know that's not all. We have another topic in the second part of the program: achieving equal opportunity for people with disabilities. I am Juma Yusuf. I joined Victor to welcome you to the first edition of the program of Good Morning Nigeria for this week. You also have newspaper review with Chukwudi Okolo-Ubaja. He'll be joining us later. But first, let's take the highlights of the news by Mina Daniels. Good morning, Mina.
Good morning, Juma and Victor. Good morning, Nigeria. Here is the morning news. U.S. President Joe Biden has announced that he will end his candidacy for re-election, saying it is in the best interest of the party and the country. This comes 4 months before Americans go to the polls to decide the fate of who takes over the White House. It has been weeks of intense pressure from Democrats after a faltering debate performance against Republican Donald Trump at the end of June. Following the announcement on Sunday evening, President Biden gave his endorsement in the presidential race to Vice President Kamala Harris. In his endorsement, he said his first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to select Ms. Harris, and said it's been the best decision he has made. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, alongside other African leaders, are in Accra, Ghana for the 6th midterm African Union meeting. Educate an Africa fit for the 21st century is the theme of the meeting.
The draft budget for 2025, which has been submitted and has been minutiously prepared by the Commission with all its skills and those who have contributed to it. The level of statutory contribution to the budget, which has been capped to 200 million American dollars instead of the 250 million which was approved in 2023, taken into account the pressures that are exerted on most of our member states.
Members of the African Union are calling for the establishment of a Central Bank of Africa, African Monetary Fund and African Investment Bank to address financial challenges associated with infrastructural development of the continent. The proposals were tabled at the ongoing midterm African Union meeting in Accra. Issues of conflict in Sudan, DR Congo and the Horn of Africa were also on the front burner.
Enable us to scale up our investments in key areas such as education, infrastructure, healthcare and technology, driving comprehensive and sustainable development across the continent.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has restated federal government's resolve to create job opportunities and diversify Nigeria's economy as part of efforts to ensure food security and stimulate economic growth across the country. This is at the launch of a billion naira agricultural empowerment program in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital.
Every intervention to boost agriculture plays a crucial role in the local economy. The aim of an initiative like this transcends food security. It opens new avenues for employment, particularly for our youth and women, who are the backbone of our rural communities.
Drug consignments hidden in ladies' wears and other prohibited substances were seized in Lagos at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, by the operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. A businessman was on Thursday, 18th of July 2024, arrested at his Lagos residence after a consignment of 40 parcels of loud hidden in packs of chess boards, Scrabbles, checkers and poker set brought in from Canada was intercepted at the Circle import shed of the Lagos airport during a joint examination of the cargo with men of customs service. In the same vein, NDLEA operatives at the narco export shed of the airport on Friday, 19th of July, intercepted 2 jumbo bags going to Pakistan. The bags contained food items which were used to conceal 4 parcels of cocaine and 14 parcels of loud. Further investigations led to the arrest of a businesswoman. Also at the Lagos airport, NDLEA operatives on Thursday, 18th of July, intercepted a male Beninese passenger traveling with a bag containing some female native dresses. The suspect was going to Dubai via Accra, Ghana. Thorough search of the bag revealed 8 parcels of loud concealed in the lady's native wears. And those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Victor and Jumai, but after this break, please don't go away.